Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask a series of questions to the Minister for Justice. First, I commend him for the efforts that he is undertaking in that ministry to bring about order and structure and new bills and laws that will assist Papua New Guinea. But my questions are in relation to some issues which concern the people of this country. And these in particular are the inquiries, the many and numerous inquiries that we have conducted over the years since independence. These inquiries are collecting dust in some office in Waigani Swamp. They have wasted significant public funds, taxpayer funds, and the expectations of the people have been dashed because these inquiries have not been successfully concluded. The terms of references are well framed. The inquiries have been carried out by professionals. They are well funded, well executed, and reports furnished with detailed evidence of wrongdoing and illegality. And indeed, the names of persons of interest and companies of interest are listed for all who care to see. There is a lot of fanfare and publicity, and the people have huge expectations that finally, in instances where injustice has been exposed, there will be justice. But to their disappointment, this hardly ever happens. And for whatever reason, these inquiries are shelved and they collect dust and cobwebs in some unswept den or lair of the infamous Waigani Swamp, never to see the light of day.
Honorable Governor.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Before Milarem, you continue asking Blue Eagle Minister, I'm just like talking Waigani Swamp. You mean when Waigani Swamp true all paper go sablongeno?
I'm also one place where plenty line also talk na. All public also refer it's la area where plenty something is a go, but you know so come out. Also multi inquiry.
Okay, but you straight him this la talk patient because standing order now me make him reference kolonganya me talk you know can make him kind talk fix also you talk him straight.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me withdrawing this comment. Me by don't have talk Waigani Swamp can.
I'm now.
Me by talk public sector officers. So, one particular inquiry, and this was SABL inquiry. Now me come back to Glasgow where me been go representing country law, exposing concern for me law climate change, law global warming. Now no hap. This particular inquiry was raised, and the way that we have managed our forest resources and the activities have been brought to our attention over there by international organizations. So, me like referral of this inquiry, SABL inquiry, which me also number 2 inquiry go inside the corruption of forestry department. Number 1 inquiry and Toast Barnett inquiry below 1989. When people all get a surveillance inquiry, fraud squad office all been cooking go down, office for forestry all been burgling, all get a files, he disappeared, now Toast Barnett and yet all put him knife plan, the house plan, corpus and all medivac and colo cans. This inquiry and finished in 2002, it was handed to then Prime Minister Robin Amalu, nothing was ever done about it. Number 2 inquiry and SABL inquiry. Blow number Anglo year 2011, 9 years after the Barnett inquiry, it cost us 17 million kina. Produced volumes of damning data and evidence indicating 5 million hectares of traditional land had been unlawfully permitted for logging under the guise of agricultural development. It found that 97% of these SABLs were illegal. Evidence of massive corruption and various individuals and serious breaches of PNG laws by named companies were tabled. This report was completed and handed to the government in 2011. Coincidentally, Somali government was removed. Anyhow, the Prime Minister at that time, Peter O'Neill, tabled this inquiry in 2014, and task forces were created under his office and also office of Lands Minister at that time to deal with this inquiry, its recommendations, its findings, and so forth. Nothing has happened till now. So under this government, Justice Minister, through you, Mr. Speaker, are you going to attend to this matter? Are you going to have a look at the SABL inquiry and in fact review all the other inquiries and say what can be done so that the expectations of our people are finally realized. In that these inquiries which have cost this country so much money can be brought to a successful conclusion, and those who have perpetrated injustice can be brought to justice. And something can be done about the SABL inquiry recommendations. In fact, those activities are still being perpetrated under the guise of another scam called the Forest Clearance Authority, very similar to the SABL inquiry project. So my questions are this: Justice Minister, are you going to do something about all these inquiries? And if so, when and how? Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'd like to thank the pertinent question asked by the Governor for oral. To answer his question, will the Justice Department? Short answer is yes. The issues are actually far more broader than chasing after inquiries. So inquiries conduct investigations. Those investigations make recommendations. The findings of those inquiries are not necessarily admissible in court. What will then happen following those recommendations? If the inquiry recommends criminal prosecution, then it's an issue of police to then take up the matter, carry out search warrants, obtain that evidence through their own legal process, and then that evidence becomes admissible. So right now the Justice Department is carrying out a complete review of the entire system that is unfortunately a bit of a mess. So do we go after the inquiries, or do we go after fortifying the criminal system, improving prosecution, improving policing investigations, so they can go straight after the issue and make arrests? So while the Governor's raised important issues of these inquiries, where things are now, if we were to pursue those as a primary objective, it would come at the cost of improving our legal system in terms of criminal prosecutions. We have 2 EU AML experts in money laundering in country. We have another few other experts coming in to help assist on investigation, policing investigations, and looking and going after organized crime, because most of all of these inquiries or decisions made usually end up with someone stealing money. And so, to answer his question, yes, as a priority now, the focus is in criminal investigations. It's ensuring our district courts function properly. When police make applications of warrants, those warrants are prepared properly so they don't end up in a court challenge. That the district court issues warrants. Now I'm getting reports that they're making applications for warrants and they're waiting weeks and days to get a simple warrant. And so obviously in a week or days, money goes missing. And then there's issues of serving warrants on the banking financial system, and people in the banking system tip off those who are subject to those warrants. So that's essentially where the issues are in the Justice Department. So that can only be done in partnership with policing. The Prime Minister is committed to fighting corruption. We have the passage of the ICAC bill. We have now experts in country assisting with putting that structure in place and administration. So that's essentially my response to the Governor's request. Yes, the SABL, prior to him initially raising with me, I have actually forwarded to the DJAG management team for them to provide a brief to me on where is the SABL issue following the court's ruling. So has the Department of State gone after and nullified? Do we have to bring an act of parliament to nullify everything? The court's already made a ruling. So what is now the state's position in relation to SABLs? I'm still waiting for that brief, but I appreciate that he's raised it again, and hopefully by the end of this week I will follow up with a second message after the Governor has raised this on the floor of Parliament, so they'll be aware that I don't want to wait for a further question from the Governor, to ensure that I can have a response back to him. Thank you.